Yeah.
We're riding in the trucks on the way. We get toned out for a signal 10.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm in my
Wait,
class.
what?
Yeah.
I'm in class A right
I'm in
now.
class A's right now. We always say no question's a stupid question.
That's right.
And I agree with that, especially in the fire service, because it's better to like know than guess. And
Welcome to the Firehouse, the show dedicated to the brave men and women who serve our community.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7. I am your host, Chris Moses, and today, sitting with me in the Firehouse is, we're going to say Jay, but I need to get the name right, and it's Jehanne.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
You did.
Jehanne from Roslyn Rescue, right?
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
All right, so do me a favor. I want you to tell them your full name, tell them what department, what company, how long you've been in, and what ranks you've held.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Jehanne. Most people call me Jay. I'm from Roslyn Rescue. I've been in for about 5 years now, since 2020.
Okay.
And position-wise, I've been EMS Lieutenant and still currently am. So. Yeah.
All right, so EMS Lieutenant. All right, I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said 2020. So when in 2020 did you get in?
Like January.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that because that's
COVID.
your first right away come in and COVID happens and you're in a rescue company. So I can imagine what that was like. And we're going to get into that. 5 years. I know you got some stories. So we're going to get into those stories. But let's at least first start with what makes you say, I want to join Roslyn Rescue. Like, what makes you want to be a firefighter? And what is is it like, how do we say the title? Like, are you a firefighter and EMS? What do you usually say if someone asks you? Like, what is your...
So normally I just say I'm a firefighter EMT.
Okay,
and
firefighter
then,
EMT.
yeah.
So that's what you're saying. I'm just a firefighter EMT.
Yeah.
Okay, so what makes you say, I want to be a firefighter EMT? Where do you don't just wake up in there and be like, I want to run into a burning building and save people doing CPR and all of this. Like, where does this come from? Like, how did you start?
So I always say, like, whoever you hang around, you kind of assimilate with.
Yeah.
And I was in my junior year of nursing school when I was kind of making like decisions on what specialty I wanted to do for nursing. And I was thinking emergency department. Okay. And I had a best friend that was like a roommate and we had a couple classes and she was actually in Roslyn Rescue at the time when we were in college. And I was asking her about it. I was like, what are the EMTs like? What's the emergency medicine side of everything? And she was just like, give it a shot, volunteer, see
if you like it.
Yeah. So literally in a matter of a week, I sent my application in.
Okay.
And I joined only as EMS only. So I didn't even think about the fire side. I was like, that's too crazy. Because that's what everyone thinks. Being a firefighter, you're running into burning buildings. That's the first thing that comes.
It's more than just that.
Definitely more than that. But I wasn't very much aware at the time.
Okay.
So I joined as EMS only. And this was January of 2020. I got sworn in. And I was doing EMS, but I was still going to trainings that were also for the fire side. Okay. And I was getting more interested in what they were doing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'd like to take a chance, learn a little more, maybe, join the fire side. And actually March of 2020 is when I became a firefighter.
Oh, so you didn't even... You came in January, and in March you was like, "Oh, that's it. I love this.
It took 3 months.
It took 3
that's
months,
it. Yeah,
and you were hooked, and you were in. Okay,
yeah.
So all right, so now you joined. You came in January as just EMS EMT, and then you decide to, and really quick, EMS EMT. What's the difference?
Well,
is there a difference?
I mean, an EMT is a position, so that's an emergency medical technician, and then EMS is just emergency.
The services.
Yeah, it's the services.
So just the services.
Yeah,
because people will say, you'll say I'm in EMS, but I am an EMT.
Correct.
That's what you would say, right?
Yeah.
It's just like I'm not EMS.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole service.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. So you're in EMT, you're doing your thing, then you say, all right, I'm getting these trainings. I want to go in and I want to start being, going to the fire side. Yeah. Now, because you said you're the EMS lieutenant,
yes,
right?
Currently. Yeah.
So where does that fall in? Like, where does that come in between that January to March?
Oh, no way.
All right, no. Okay,
no
that's
way.
what I think. All right. So where does that come in, and why do lieutenant in EMS versus going into fire as leadership?
So I've been EMS Lieutenant since 2023. We have our elections in November.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a little over a year. And they're 2-year positions. So I'm a nurse, like professionally. Okay. So medicine's always been my thing. So.
And you were a nurse before even joining the services, right? Because you said
I was a nursing student.
You're a nursing student.
Yeah,
okay,
but I was
coming
to the end.
In that.
Yeah.
You already wanted that. Okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So I've always had more of a leaning towards like the medical side of everything.
Of course.
So I feel like for leadership wise, why not do something that I know I'm good at?
Okay.
You know, I'm good at fire.
Yeah.
Like I've been trained in, but this is like something that I do for a living. So it helps with, you know, trainings and like
you can
teaching.
Offer more.
Yeah, I offer more. Yeah.
You offer more because you're a nurse. And I'll just tell you right now, that's probably, we ain't talking about that. This show is not about that, but that's a crazy job in itself.
Yeah.
Nurses literally have like skates on all day long. I always say I could never do that job. That is one job I know I could never do is be a nurse because it is just like nonstop work. It just doesn't stop.
No. 24/7.
24. I don't know how you all do it. I don't know. But we're not talking about that. So anyway, all right. So you decide, you know, to go. What makes you want to do? So you're saying you wanted to do it just because you're able to give more.
Yeah.
You're able to give more. So you're like, listen, I already do this for a living with healthcare. So why not do that and kind of be that leader and kind of show and help train and everything like that. Yeah. So you decide to go fire, right?
Yeah.
You're in there you decide to go fire. How does that work? Probie wise, like, right? Are you a probie all across the board? Like, how does that work? Because now you're doing 2 different things. So how did that all work?
So the first year is like a complete like probationary period when you
no matter where you are.
No matter where you are.
Okay.
So I was already a probationary member. Just first it was EMS, and then since I added on fire, I'm a probationary member for fire and EMS.
Okay.
So there's just certain classes that I have to get done to kind of get through that.
Okay.
Like your essentials, like stuff like that. So,
everything at FSA, take all of that stuff, and then you come off. And then when you're off of probation, you're off of both. There is no just this one or that one. You're off of everything at that moment.
Much, yeah.
Okay. All right. So listen, we might as well get right into it. I know you got some stories, Jay. I know you got some stories. Listen, fire and EMS, I know you got some stuff. So what you got for me? What you got?
Oh, boy.
I know you got some good stuff.
I would say one of my favorite jobs, fire-wise, we were going to the 5th Battalion parade. This was 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. We're going to the 5th Battalion. We have coverage for the district because everyone from the 5th Battalion is going over.
Yeah.
We're riding in the trucks on the way. We get toned out for a signal 10.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm in my class.
What? I'm in Class A right now.
I'm in Class A's right now. There's like sort of manpower on this truck. I'm on the tower ladder.
I love this sort of. There's sort of manpower.
Like, there's sort of manpower right now. How are we figuring this out? We literally rush back to the firehouse, grab gear.
Okay.
And I get dressed on the truck because there's just no time
to do it.
Yeah, no time at all. And we get to scene. There is fire coming out the front, the sides, the back.
This thing is going.
This thing is going. Yeah. So literally one of my guys forgot his helmet on the front step. No, actually, which was so surprising.
It's unacceptable, whoever that is. You want to shout him out? Just tell him. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that to you, but you know who you are.
But I was like talking to him. I was like, do you want the front seat or like, what are we doing? And he was just like, well, my helmet's on the front of the firehouse. I was like, oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously I got it.
Yeah. So it's me and an ex-chief who are on the truck team. Okay. And we have a bunch of mutual aid. So it's great because we're working with a bunch of departments I've actually never worked with before.
Okay.
Yeah. Like some from the South Shore. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
everyone's here.
Everyone. County invite.
And it's 2 of us and we go upstairs. We are like in the back corner of the building on the 2nd floor. And some of the properties in our neighborhood, like they're pretty big. Like they're pretty sizable. And I'm like taking out wall. And I'm like, I don't see my ex-chief. Let me go find out where he went. And I go around the corner and like there's this huge like walk-in closet. But then if you go forward, there's like a bathroom. And I open the door and it's just fire like everywhere. I close the door so quick.
I could imagine that. You're just like, poof, oh my God.
I was like, hey, like, did you? And he was just like, yeah, we should call for water. So I'm like on the radio. I'm like, 565 to command. We need water on the second floor towards like, I don't even know, 3-4 side.
So
like.
Before we even keep going with the stories, what is going through your mind right when you open that door? Like, what happens in your mind?
All I saw was
Fire is a family-owned company built on trust. Our trucks are standardized models crafted from years of real feedback with competitive pricing, top-tier national dealer network, and lead time in months, not years. We're ready when you are. Proudly based in Milledgeville, Georgia, visit Fouts Fire on social media and drop a comment and let them know that the Firehouse on WRHU 88.7 FM sent you.
All I saw was orange, red. It's like so hot. I'm just like, oh, wow. This is like, and the rest of like the house was completely like pretty and like
so you're just walking around not thinking.
So like I was just shocked to even see that specific room was like untouched and still like burning like pretty heavy. So yeah, I was just like, oh boy. Okay.
All right. So you call it in, and then what happens next?
They're like, okay, we'll get water to you. There's still just 2 of us back there at this point, and I'm like, all right, we gotta like pull out a little bit. So I like go, I like say, hey, I'm coming back. I tell my chief. I go around the corner because I know there's a line in the room next door. And I'm like, hey, like, I need you guys to like come to the side. And they're like, yeah, we're coming. And I'm like, great. So they don't, and they try and hit it from like, they took out some wall on the other side and they like tried to hit it from, it was not working.
It's not going,
And for me in that moment, I was like, wow, time feels so much slower than it actually is.
Probably only like 3 minutes past, but it feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah, literally. It's not a long time, but like in my head, I'm like, oh no, like it's hot in here. No one's coming with water. The other side's not, really hitting it. Finally, one of my engine crews from Roslyn actually came, and I literally opened that door and I was just like, hit here, get it. Like, and this was actually one of our younger members, and he did such a great job.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
I think that was probably one of my favorite jobs.
You said Roslyn, right? And we kind of talked about this off air. What is the difference from Roslyn? I know, isn't there Roslyn Heights? There's Roslyn everywhere. The name Roslyn. So, your Roslyn Rescue, like, is there like, what's the difference for people that don't know? Like me, I don't.
That's fair. So there's Roslyn Rescue, and then there's the other department, Roslyn Highlands.
Okay.
Yeah. So Roslyn Highlands is it's only fire actually.
Okay.
So some of their members do help with the EMS, but when it comes to them, it's fire first.
Okay.
And then for Roslyn Rescue, we have the EMS, like we have the buses, we have like, the fly car. Okay. So we're the ones who run the program for EMS.
Okay, got you. So there is a difference there between that. Yeah. Okay, all right, makes sense. All right, so what other stories you got? What else you got? You got any EMS good stories?
Ooh, I think that. I don't know. I mean, cardiac arrest, like, which is like.
It's so crazy because the EMT sees these things all the time. So it's not a story to you, but for us, it's a story. We're like, yo, I want to
know. Okay. This one's kind of recent. This was actually within the past year. So we get a call for an unresponsive male, and it's at one of the nursing homes that we have in our district. We have a few assisted livings, actually. So we get frequent EMS calls there. Okay. And I was like, oh, it's just one of the run-of-the-mill EMS calls, like sick male. Okay.
Thinking it's nothing.
Yeah, thinking it's nothing. So me and my actual current EMS captain, we go, and, we're strolling. I get in the room, and the patient's, like, not moving at all. And I'm like, all right, someone want to tell me what's going on? So I walk up to the patient, check for a pulse, no pulse. And I'm like, oh, this is not a sick male call. This is an unresponsive male. So
let's turn up.
Literally. And at this point, I'm like, all right, let's start compressions. I have my captain like open our EMS bag, and I'm like, all right, pass me the ambu bag. Worst thing ever, ambu bag is like compressed. And I'm like trying to, and I'm like looking trying to get it to like, inflate better. And I'm looking at the staff there. I'm like, can someone just get me an ambu bag that's like functional? And they're looking at me like I have 5 heads. And I'm like, oh my God, all right, we're just going to do compressions for right now. We escalate the call on the radio. We're like, we need ALS assistance. And I'm doing compressions, but obviously as like a person, you get tired. So you want your Lewis device. we don't have it with us.
Oh man, so that's all you. That's all guns.
Yeah. So my captain takes over, and one of the nurses helps with the CPR, and he's like, "Go get the Lucas." Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to run out of the building, and elevators not working.
Wait, but what's the Lucas? Explain to the listeners what that is.
A Lucas device is basically, it performs compressions. Yep. It's mechanical. It's pretty great. It's convenient.
You like strap it to them, right?
Yeah, you strap it. Yeah, you put like a board under them, and then you like place it on the center of the chest, like near the sternum. Yep. And then it provides compression.
And it provides the compression. Yeah. So, but go ahead. So now you got to get downstairs.
Yeah. So elevator's not working. I'm like,
what floor are you on?
I'm on maybe like the second or third floor. I'm like, I don't even know how to get out of the building. I was like, where are the stairs? So the staff's like, that way. I run for my life, and for some reason, I didn't know that the weather decided to change, and it's raining cats and dogs. I run out.
This is like the worst case scenario. It's worst case
scenario. I'm running out of the building, trying not to slip. I'm like, I can't be the EMS call now.
I don't want to add to the problem here. I don't want to add to the problem.
So I have to run around the whole entire building.
Wow.
Because the part that part of the building I got out of, I ended up in the back.
So you're all the way
to run around the whole entire building, grab the Lucas device, run back inside. I'm soaking wet, run back up the stairs, bring it, and thank God ALS had arrived.
I know the captain probably looked like, what happened to you?
It's like, it's raining outside. So, we were able to work with the medic. We were able to get Rosk, and then we transported. But it was just one of those cardiac arrest calls that was just unexpected, and just everything was just all over the place.
But then you still was able to do your job. So I guess my question is also as an EMT, how are you able to maintain that composure with everything that's going on and still do your job, right? How are you able to do that? It's one thing, for a firefighter, right? And you on both sides, so you could tell a difference. Like with firefighter, listen, that's my job. I can go do that, take care of this. This is now people. Yeah. This is their lives. So how are you able to maintain composure and still do your job?
One thing that I've always learned is that this is their worst day. So it's not about me, it's about them and taking them out of that worst day. Whatever I can do to help to take them out of this worst day for them, that's what I'm focused on. Yeah, medical wise, I feel like EMTs and medics, they do see some really tough things. And of course, you have those debriefs and those conversations after tough calls. But to just make sure everyone, to make sure everyone's okay. But in the moment, you have to realize that, you signed up for a job to help the community, and for them, when they call us, this is their worst day. That's just really it. Yeah.
It's their worst day. So you want to make that better for them. No, that's great. I love the way you put that, because it is. It's their worst day. Yeah. And whatever your feelings are, it doesn't matter at this moment. Yeah. Let me make you feel better and get this going. I love that. Yeah. All right. So got a question for you. All right. What is the common myth? Tell me a common myth that you want to debunk about firefighting or EMS. Okay. Tell me. Talk to me.
So for firefighting, I think that a lot of people think that we constantly go to fires. Okay. Yeah. So I have my friend group at the Firehouse. Obviously, they know what's going on. And then I have my friends who are outside of the fire community. No clue of that. No idea. So when I tell people I do this, they're like, you run into burning buildings all the time? And I'm like, no, maybe we get 3 or 5 signal 10s a year. Yeah, exactly. Year? And then they're like, the gear, it's so heavy. So I think a lot of people think that all the calls we go to are very intense. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a carbon monoxide call. And that's it. And it's false readings or automatic alarm. Yeah, automatic alarm, it's just
lights went off, exactly. Or something like that.
Yeah, someone needs to change their batteries. A lot of those at 3:00 in the morning, surprisingly.
It's rough. Yeah. It's rough. Chiefs, I tell you, those chief calls, man, it saves us.
Yes,
sometimes
actually.
They help.
Yeah. So
all right, but how about on the EMS side?
I think people think it's a lot of everyone's always dying.
So that too, just
it's
the movies.
Yeah, the movies, the extremes. People think, help super emergent, and sometimes it's just, oh, my stomach's hurting, and it's okay, all right, do you want to go to the hospital? Yeah, I'll bring you. You know, it's simple
and
transport.
Then that's it. Just simple stuff like that. It's not all crazy and everything like that.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. Being a female in a male-driven, you know, kind of service, right? Yeah. How is that? Like the dynamic there, and you're on both sides, right? Because it's normally okay, you know, ladies are in EMS, but you're like, nah, I'm in EMS and I'm a firefighter. Yeah. So the dynamic there, like, how is that? Like, how do you deal with that? I know the macho stuff is out there. We can't act like it's not. But just, you know, how is that?
For over 50 years, Fire News has been the preferred publication for fire, rescue, and EMS heroes. Fire News print edition reaches Long Island, 17 states, and the District of Columbia. Visit firenews.com to see the latest news, read their digital prints, or follow them on Facebook and Instagram pages. In print, online, on social media, Fire News has you covered. Visit firenews.com. And if you go ahead and go visit on Instagram, please leave a comment and tell them that WRHU 88.7 The Firehouse sent you.
You have to have a strong personality. Okay. That's what I would say. The main thing is we train the same. So if you put in the work, no one's going to question you because you're a female, you know? So as long as you go to the trainings, you put in the work, on a call, you know what to do, then no one's going to question you. And obviously there's going to be, like I say, a few winners who are going to be like, oh, a girl.
First of all, I love the way you said winners. Like, I love that. A few winners that's going to say that, yes, you know.
But the best way is to kind of just prove them that we can do the same job, and it works out. And I've had like experiences. One, I was on a pin job, actually. This was, I think, a year and a half ago or so. It was a pretty bad pin job. It was on Northern Boulevard. Drunk driver crashed his car under a tractor trailer. It wasn't even into, like, his car was under it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just not to cut you off, but there's sometimes I remember, and I know you know, we pull up to calls and it's just like, how did this happen?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, wait, how? Where were you going? How fast
were you going? Yeah.
What the hell? But go ahead.
So I arrive on scene, and I'm a fan of extrications. I actually prefer them over house fires.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I see it. I'm going for the cutters. That's
that's you. My thing. That's it. I'm going for it.
Going for the cutters. One of my friends is on the spreaders, and we're going at it. Take out the doors. You know, take out the B posts, the A posts. Yep. And as I'm like going through the operation, I see the guy in the front seat is still alive. So now it's So now for you, especially for you, like, I'm thinking for me, I'm there, I'm doing my job, I'm doing whatever, person's alive. My thought now is, all right, they're alive. But my first thought is, we need EMS. Yeah. You're already there. So now what happens? Fire,
so you're fire. So you kind of put that hat on, because I'm pretty sure you're thinking about that, but keep going.
Yeah. So I'm on the cutters. I see he's alive. So now time is of the essence.
Of the essence, yeah.
We have a bus there on scene, so someone else rolled it out.
Okay.
For us, if we have like a car fire or an extrication, the heavy rescue is going to roll first before the ambulance. Because obviously you can't give medical assistance if you can't get the patient out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. So I wasn't on the bus at the time, but I'm on the cutters. ESU arrives. You know how we love ESU.
Yes.
Yeah. And they like to take
over. They do.
A little bit. And one of the guys was really like, he was a little like, you know, giving me a run for my money.
Move.
Yes, correct. And I was already, like, doors were off.
You
the car
did the entire job.
Yeah. Like, you know, B post was off, like A post, like everything. But there were like parts of the car that, like, you don't normally see that needs to be moved out of the way. And he's like, oh, this needs to be cut. Give me the cutters. And I was like, no, just tell me where. I got it. Like, I've been cutting up this whole car.
I would love to just see that. It's like, no, just tell me where.
Just tell me where. And he was just like,
give me.
Yeah. And I was like, just tell me where you need the cut and I'll give you the cut. And he was just like, oh, this isn't about who has the tool in their hand. Like, we just need to get this done. And I literally stop and I look at this man and I go, correct. What you just said is so right. This isn't about who has. Yeah. So tell me where to cut, because we're doing the same job. And he looked so perplexed that I spoke to him that way. And he looks at my chiefs who were present and he's like, who's in charge here? And they're like, she's fine.
I love that. Go to the Chiefs.
No, literally. And that's what I
Chiefs.
love about my department is that they will always have your back, especially if you're doing the right thing. They will always have your back. Like, great administration for that. And I just cut where he needed it. But he was just,
done.
and it was just definitely because I was a girl.
Yeah, that's all it really was.
Like,
It was just
oh
that.
God.
And you're like, come on, dude. Let's
like,
get
let's
this
not
job
do
going.
this.
Let's
Like,
not
we're doing a little
this.
dance. Like, I just
Let's
want to
get it
get this
done.
guy out of the car. Like,
And that's
so,
it.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, just so we could just say ESU, not everyone is like that.
Yeah, no,
This
no,
was
no.
a isolated incident, so
Yeah,
everybody
100%.
understands, because you know how people are. Like,
Yeah.
oh, no, we're not saying everyone.
Yeah.
It was
No,
an
it's
isolated
okay. I
incident.
still love ESU guys.
We love
I
you guys.
promise.
Like, what you do, thank you for your service. It's amazing what you all do. But no, I can imagine. So that's a dynamic that, especially me and other men, we don't deal with that.
Yeah.
So how are you still like, so now this happens, like, you're still just able to just keep going. Like, I'd be pissed off. Like, what?
I mean,
But
as
you
much
just
as
like, it
as
is
much
what it
as I
is.
can be upset about it, it's going to take away from the fact that I'm here to do a job.
Yeah.
And I think that's better to show like the people who kind of give you those difficulties that you're here for the job as opposed to fighting back, because then they're going to be like, oh, she's like a girl with too many like emotions, like they always say. And it's like, no.
There's no problems here.
Yeah, no
Tell
problems.
me what you need and let's get it done.
Let's
and
get
that's
it done.
We got it done. Thank you. High five. Keep it pushing, buddy.
Pretty much.
All right. So before we get into some more questions, we need to get into a game we call the flashover, Jay. All right. So let me explain how the flashover works. The way the flashover works is I'll give you two things. I'll give you Android, Apple. You got to tell me which one really fast. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to go through a couple of them, right? We're going to go through a couple of movies, a couple of TV shows. If you haven't watched it, just say I haven't watched it. And then we're going to ask a couple of questions as well. Okay. All right. So, Jay, are you ready for the flashover?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Okay. So, drive the rig during the parade or drive the chief truck during the parade?
Chief truck.
Chief truck?
Yeah.
Want to do the chief truck? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, brush fire or rocking dumpster fire?
Oh, boy. Considering Jamaica Ash, I'm going to say the brush fire.
Brush fire? You'd rather do the brush fire because you'll never know what could be in them things.
Yeah.
All right. So, calendar photo shoot or walk in a parade 100 degrees, class A. Full class A. Or they say, hey, we're doing calendar photo shoots over here. Would you want to go there or you going in the parade? Which one? 100 degree.
Yeah, no, calendar photo shoot.
You're doing the calendar photo shoot.
Yeah.
You're not doing, I'm not
it's too
walking
hot
in
for that in all class A's.
Call class A, 100 degrees. I'll take the pictures. I got you. All right. So put on your fire hat here.
Okay.
Confirm car fire or an automatic alarm with a light smoke condition. That could be promising. So confirm car fire or automatic alarm light smoke condition. You're wherever, and these two call comes in. Chief says, which one you taking?
That's tough because that light smoke condition just be that there's smoke in the walls, there's extension, it just hasn't been exposed yet.
It could be something that could really go into something. But the other one's a confirmed car fire.
Yeah, it's already rocking.
I'll even give you two. There's another car right next to it. It could go, this could go down, this car fire. But you got that automatic alarm, that light smoke condition. Which one we picking?
Man, I'm going to take the car fire.
You're going to take the car fire.
Already.
It's a job that you already know.
Yeah.
Let me go in there and go
I'll
do
go
what
there
I gotta
first,
do.
and then if it's a 10 at the house, I'm going after the car.
No one's ever said that yet. I love that. If it's a 10 after that, I'm hitting this one, and then I'm going right over there. Okay. All right. At an installation dinner. Okay. Sit with the commissioners or sit with the probies at the table?
Probies.
Sit with the probies.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the fun table.
Yeah.
That's the fun table. All right. So not the last question, but all right. You are, EMS Lieutenant, right? Mm-hmm. You have a critique that's coming up this Sunday. You got a critique that's going on. Well, let's say it's Sunday. You have the critique. The critique is at 10 o'clock. Everybody is there 8 o'clock. Do you, for those 2 hours, have them clean the firehouse or do you do a training? You have the critique, 10 o'clock, but y'all got 2 hours to spare. You're going to have them clean the firehouse or have them do another training.
Have them learn something.
So do the training.
Yeah.
Do the training. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's, as much as you can always clean. You can always have an opportunity to clean the firehouse. But if you have an opportunity to learn something in a period of time,
take that time,
even if
and
it's
do
small.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, they'll appreciate it more. No one wants to clean the firehouse.
No one wants to clean the firehouse. We do it because you got to, but nobody really wants to do that. Yeah. All right. So before we get into the movies, last one. Put on your EMS hat.
Okay.
Would you rather, again, clean the bus or restock the bus? Clean the bus or restock the bus?
Clean the bus.
Clean the bus? You'd rather not? You'll go through the expiration dates and all that?
Restocking and doing that Part 800 is a beast.
It's real.
Yeah,
it's real. So you'd rather just clean it up. You'd rather just clean up. Y'all do that, and then I'll come back and clean up everything for y'all.
Pretty much.
All right, so now let's get into some movies, okay? And some TV shows, all right? Okay. Chicago Fire, Rescue Me.
I've seen Chicago Fire. I don't know what the other one is.
You never seen Rescue Me? Okay. No. All right, so let's do, how about 9/11? Have you seen that, 911?
I've seen, I sort of avoid these shows.
We're going to talk about why you sort of avoid them, right? All right. Backdraft, Ladder 49. Backdraft, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the most important question, which I'm wondering what you're going to say, because Rescue, I kind of have a feeling what you're going to say, but I don't know. So, most important question. Jay, are you ready?
Okay.
Engine or truck? Truck all the way. We're going truck all the way. I figured you was going to say that. Rescue, we're going truck all the way. That's a rescue. But let's talk about what you said about the reason why you stay away from those shows. Why?
They're so inaccurate.
Of what you do.
It drives me mad. I'm like, why are we taking our SCBA and putting on a civilian in a burning building? Now who's helping who? Like
what? Like the things they do, I've seen. I'm like, what? They're hanging off ladders that's across two buildings. Like what?
I'm like, I don't remember this part of Bailout.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I love that. All right, so before we get out of here, got a couple more questions. All right. One question is, in a whole, right? How has the fire service changed your life?
I guess it's like an additional sense of community. It kind of opens your eyes to how many people actually do participate in the fire service. So that's been like a cool aspect. Getting to like network and meet other people from different departments and like kind of see how they operate and have those discussions, you know, like the buff talk or like the black hole. So, and I guess everyday life, I kind of like look at things a little bit differently. Okay. At like one of my like nursing jobs, outpatient, they were like, oh, can you like help with fire drills and like teaching people how to like properly like get out of the building and like points of egresses. And I was just like, yeah, more than happy. So like I do. Yeah, literally. So that was like a fun thing that I was able to do at work for a few times.
And kind of help out with there. All right. So if there's someone right now that is listening that, you know, is thinking about joining, or someone that's in and has been in for maybe a month or so, what type of advice would you want to give them?
I'd say if you're thinking about it, give it a shot. Okay. You're never really going to know what it's about until you do it. And that was like my perspective. I didn't know what it was fully about until I joined, and I love it. I'm still here 5 years. Yeah, listen, you're still here. You ain't going nowhere. Yeah. And anyone
for the person that's thinking about joining.
Yeah, for the person that's thinking about it. And for anyone who's in it, I would say take every opportunity to learn. And if you ever have questions, just ask them. Like we always say, no question's a stupid question.
That's right.
And I agree with that, especially in the fire service, because it's better to like know than guess, and then you like mess up operationally. Yep. And you know,
so true.
So
true.
Yeah.
It's just learn. All right. I love that. Yeah. So am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Can you shout out Roslyn Rescue? Do they have like a website, Instagram, anything like that?
We do have an Instagram.
Facebook, any of those things?
Instagram we do have. Website we do have. I don't think Facebook though.
Okay, yeah. But they have that. So, you know, look, if you want to find out more information, Roslyn Rescue, tell them that Jay sent you.
Yeah, we always need more members. So
always need more members. Tell them Jay sent you. So Jay, you know, you could just come right down. But is there anything else that I'm forgetting that you want to touch on? Any other stories that you had in your head that Because I don't want to leave here if we got another story.
I think the two big ones that I wanted to
those
talk
were
about.
those were the two big ones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like the pin job and
Yes, that's dope. No, that's dope. All right. So listen, thank you
so
much for coming down to the Firehouse and talking to us and letting us know, everything that you deal with and that you go through. So thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do, right? Roslyn Rescue in the building. Really quick. Yeah. Before you go, you're going to have to shout a name out. Who do you think would be good on this show that could come down? Shout them out.
Oh, no.
Tell them.
Oh, my God.
Tell them, who do you think?
I don't know.
Who do you think that you're there that's in Roslyn Rescue? You'd be like, you know what? They should probably come down. Who?
I don't know. Maybe one of my chiefs.
One of the chiefs. Yeah. So Roslyn. All right. So listen, you heard that. Chief, Roslyn Rescue Chief, we want you down here. Report down to the Firehouse. We'll make sure we reach out. And again, we're going to tell them Jay told us to do it.
Oh, God.
All right. Listen, thank you again for coming down.
Thank
all right.
you.
We just heard from my girl Jay from the Roslyn Rescue, and it's fire department, right? Roslyn Rescue Fire Department? Or is that the company?
So it's Roslyn Rescue Hook and Ladder Company number 1.
Roslyn Rescue Hook and Ladder Company number 1. There we go. That's all right. And that is Jay. Yeah. And we just sat here and we talked about, her life as a firefighter and EMT. Just get that right. It's both of those. She's doing both, right? That's what a rescue company is. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed the conversation. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of those things. I am your host, Chris Moses, and please tune in next week to another great conversation in the Firehouse. There we go.
That was good.